Now, most lists you get into, it's all about the top games. Well, today in this list, we're going to go over the games that you should approach with caution over here on the PSVR2. So, let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Husky Puppy over at NGI, and today in this video I have reviewed 50 PSVR2 games. I got 50 W's under my belt right now on the PSVR2, plus I have all the receipts, all the video on my footage under the live section, and all the reviews posted on my channel. So this is all from my experience, and these are the 25 games that you need to approach with caution. The way this is going to work is from 25 to like 15. These are not going to be the doo-doo-fi garbage dumpster diarrhea games. These are going to be mediocre games that have a lot of issues, and when we get to like number 1, number 2, number 3, these are the ones you want to absolutely avoid at all costs. Doo-doo-fi garbage dumpster diarrhea, it will hurt you. Guava juice, shit turds, assified, trashified, my boys. So this is going to be a long video because the quality that I'm going to put in this video is going to change your life, and I hope to earn your subscription with this video. And if not, I hope I earn your subscription with the next video coming out, which is the top 25 out of the 50 games that I have under my belt, with a lot more coming. So starting off with number 25, Vampire the Masquerade Justice. Now, oh my gosh, hold your shit. You already starting off with that one, my boys? Yes, I'm starting off with that one because while everything goes good in this game, my boys, like everything is going good in this game, that's why it's number 25, because it barely slides on. But playing that game near the end with the big FPS issues, crashing a few times, with the game coming to a screeching halt, falling through the map, and the low FPS, there's a lot of work to be done here. It almost feels like they rushed it at the end. The ending was kind of rushed. The gameplay does get a little repetitive, boring. And the beginning of the game is really fantastic for a reviewer period, but if you're like me, that waits till they finish the game in the totality and then review it on the totality of the circumstances, well, you would know that the ending is like, what the fuck just happened to this game that I'm playing? So that's why Vampire the Masquerade Justice makes number 25 on this list. But to keep it moving, my boys, number 24 is Jurassic World Aftermath Collection. Now, this game offers tons of accessibility. It is smooth, butter frame rate, everything going good with this one. I don't even think I crashed playing this game. The reason why this one's on the list to approach with caution, because this is not a combat game. So if you didn't know that buying it, you're going to be looking for the combat. This is a hide and seek, mouse cat, try to not get ate by the dinos. There's no combat here to be had, so you want to approach with the caution on. The number 23 on the list is Cactus Cowboy Desert Warfare. Now, this one is a doozy of the thing because there's some issues. The game store, the customization doesn't work all the time. You can lose guns. Well, actually, no, not in this one, sorry. And a different Cactus Cowboy, which is on the list, but we'll get to that. This one, the customizations doesn't work properly, and there's just a lot of things in this game that need to be more polished, more well done. Now, it's not near the top of the list because it's not really that bad. Like I said, from 25 to 13, guys, you got to give some room here. These are just the ones to approach with caution, but we're going to get into the ones that you need to avoid pretty soon. But Cactus Cowboy Desert Warfare does earn that. Approach with caution, kind of know what you're getting into. The gameplay is good, but the graphics are low, the polygons are rare, the gun customization doesn't always work, the levels drag on a little bit too much sometimes, but not all the time. And the number 22 on the list is Kill It With Fire VR. Kill It With Fire VR is a short game. You can probably complete it in about 2-3 hours. There's some glitching. I didn't really notice any frame rate issues or crashing, but you can get glitched, and the speed of being able to move around isn't as fast as I would like it. So this is an approach with caution. I did almost get a little VR sick when I get no sicknesses, but it's just because the speed of playing the game is really slow compared to what I'm used to. So this one's a approach with caution because it's short, because there's not a lot of content there, and just because there is some glitches that you can find. And the number 21 is C Smash VR. Now C Smash VR, when I reviewed it, didn't have as much content as it does now, but still, I don't know, I feel like what you're paying for what you're getting, it kind of offsets itself now. But back when I played it, it was an alright, decent sports type game, and I don't really have much bad to say about it. Otherwise, just, you know, approach this one with caution. There is some a little slight single player, and there's like some boss fights in it, but it's not really having that much. And the number 20 on the list is Gazzlers. Now we're gonna get the Gazzlers going here, one. The Gazzlers. Now the Gazzlers is cool, but it's a roguelike. There's not much in terms of gun customization and picking out your loadouts and stuff like that. It gets really repetitive. I feel like the store is way too priced high for the bolts and stuff you can get. Now there's workarounds, but it requires you to actually do those workarounds. So it's just like more of a approach with caution, because, you know, it is a repetitive roguelike loot that wants you to grind more than sometimes I feel like the grind is worth. They are adding content to the game, and I think a new update came to the game that I haven't played yet, so there's a little bit more content from when I remember and what I did, but nevertheless it still makes the list. And I'm losing track of the numbers, so we're just gonna keep rolling. But the next one on the list is Thumper. Now Thumper you can actually get if you owned it on PSVR1 for like $5 upgrade. This game, there's really not much wrong with it other than, you know, it's a PSVR1. The graphics aren't that crazy. It's not taking advantage of that too much. You play it with a controller. I think you can play it with the DualSense, but I just prefer to play with the controller for some reason. I kind of forget why. And you know, it's Thumper. You know, approach it with caution. It doesn't change much. It's worth the admission, I guess you would say, but nevertheless, it makes the list. And the next one on the list we're going to talk about is Runner. I know a lot of people like Runner, but for me, it was a mediocre experience. I didn't mesh well with it. I wish you could do a wheelie with the motorcycle. I stand by that, of course. I really do wish you could do a wheelie on that motherfucker. But you know, the boss fights are a little bit tedious at times. The loadout actually matters while you're playing the game. There's a lot of things going on that some things are too powerful, some things are not too powerful, and your loadout matters. It actually affects if you're going to get through certain levels or not. The checkpoints are off in places. I feel like they needed a little bit more checkpoints in certain areas so you don't have to redo everything all over again. So nevertheless, that makes the list. The next one after Runner, we're going to be talking about Star Tenders. Now this is a very mediocre experience. You're just bartending in space. The graphics are okay, but it, you know, we're used to better games, more clear visuals, crystal clarity, but for what you get with Star Tenders, it's pretty good. It definitely earns a spot on the list. Now, like I said, all these games up until we start getting to we get higher up on these numbers, you're gonna see what I'm talking about here. But like I said, approach with caution. It's Star Tenders. It gets repetitive at times. You can make your own drinks. You're gonna serve up some bars, but I mean serve up some brews to the bar mates. But regardless, it's on the list to just approach with caution. And the next one we're going to talk about is 2MD VR Football Unleashed All-Star. This one's on the list because, one, it's not the most graphically capable game. It gets fuzzy, it gets a little blurry, it looks a little low-res, a little polygonic N64 PS1 type shit. There's a lot of modes in this game, though, that you can actually have fun, indulge into. But, you know, it's not the cleanest looking game. The gameplay is what matters, though, and it's a really fun game. But, you know, I have my issues with this game despite that, and it's room scale only, so you're gonna have to, if you don't have a room scaled boundary, you're gonna have to create one outside of, you know, you're gonna have to like fake it, because you can do that on the system, fake that line, and just be really mindful and careful where you are in your room so you don't destroy your shit. But nevertheless, that one's on the list. And we're gonna keep on going with Garden of the Sea. Garden of the Sea is after the VR Football Unleashed. Garden of the Sea is a very cute game. There's not a lot going on for it though, other than building a house, traveling to the islands. It's a game you could probably complete in about 3-4 hours. It's really kidified, so if you're into that, or you got, you know, a spouse that might really like it, or kids, it's mainly that type of game for that audience. It's like Animal Crossing VR but it's scaled way down. You know, you can really get through the content in about a day, and then it's just like kind of going on and building and interacting with the creatures, and there's only so much you can do of that. Not saying it's a bad game, it's a very decent game, and it's just on the list due to the fact of, you know, just approach with caution. If you want to learn a little bit about it, that's what I can give you. Now, this is where we hit that list point where there's a lot of problems, and we're going to be getting into it. So Peaky Blinders VR The King's Ransom is on this list as the next one running up, and this one has numerous bugs, glitches. I didn't crash, but you could float through the levels. You know, you could fly all the way up into fucking the third heavens on Elon Musk's rocket Tesla shit. There's a lot. The textures are sometimes bad. There's a lot going on with Peaky Blinders VR The King Ransom, so approach this one with caution, because this one is this one's got a lot of, this is a mess. It's a mess. It's got a lot of shit going on with it. Do I recommend it? If you really like the show, then definitely take part of that, because it's still, you know, it's still a decent sized game. There's just a lot of issues, and that's why it's on the approach with caution list. And the next one on the list we're going to talk about is Cactus Cowboy Plants at War. Now, Cactus Cowboy Plants at War, this is where I kind of messed up with Desert Warfare. This is the prequel to Desert Warfare. Now, the good thing about this one is it's free, so there's really, you know, no room to really bicker and banter about it because it's a free game. But this one, actually, you can lose your guns. This has numerous bugs. You know, pardon the pun, because there's bugs you kill, but this game is all over the place. There's a lot of errors in this one, a lot of glitching going on, and my biggest one was like losing the guns. But the gameplay is still fun. I feel like Desert Warfare is still the better game. That one actually costs money, that's why it's still on the list as approach with caution. This one's a $0 entry, but it's just approach with caution if you're gonna play it. Just know what you're getting into. N64 graphics. You're gonna lose your guns. They're gonna go sleep through the floor, and they're gonna be gone. After that, we're gonna talk about Pixel Rip 1978. Now, this one's on the list because I didn't really mesh well with this one, and this one's a approach with caution, more on the higher scale, because if you're a fan of the Pixel Rip series, you would think this one, which is the newest version of their game, would be the best they got yet, especially being backed by Atari. But that is no further than the fucking case, because they didn't even bother to animate the joysticks in the game like the other games. Like the other one that I played, you can actually see the animations on the controller. This one seems they got a little lazy. They had Atari back in it. The Atari games that are in the game is kind of boring and monotonous. The story's not all real there, and then playing inside VR with the mode, it's just kind of like, it's a chore, it's boring. You're throwing your fucking flippers, those are stronger than the blasters, other than aiming your arm and going pew pew pew. It's just, it's not as good as what the other games on the list did, especially the games in the series. So the next one we're going to get into after Pixel Rip is Broken Edge. Now, this one I did not enjoy at all. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought it was duty-fied garbage, dumpster diarrhea, guava slava sauce. And because of the fact that, like, there's a lot of things I didn't know about this game. Like, one, how high competitive it is. Two, how much space you need to enjoy the game. Three, you have no controlment. The game takes all the controlment out of the game. You literally just stand there and try to get the first hit on your opponent. The boss fight was, you know, a bitch, just due to the fact that he was cheap and programmed to be cheap. And this, to me, if you're not in a multiplayer stance, or you don't want to bother trying to compete with others online, you're not going to get much value for Broken Edge. So that's why this one made the list. Just approach it with caution. Just know it's way more multiplayer focused, and there's nothing wrong with that if you like it. For me personally, approach this with caution before you dive in and enjoy it. The next one after Broken Edge is Ulterior Breaker. This one I actually had a lot of blast playing, but there's, you know, crashes. I think there was some performance issues. The boss fights are monotonous. They're literally reskins. The weapons are cool, but it's a grind to even get them and enjoy them. There is a platinum trophy if you guys care about that. It's fairly easy to get, and there's still people online right now playing this game. You don't have no issues finding matches, but like I said, you know, there's a lot of reskinned, rehashed content in this game, but it's still fun. But it's approached with caution. It's not the Sword Art Online type shit of all to be all. It's literally, you know, some repetition combat to give you that. It's not an MMO. It's like a single player with the multiplayer capabilities of an RPG, and it's very limited in source. And very mediocre. The next one after Altair Breaker is After the Fall. Now, this game I have beefs with. It's still broken till this day. You can fall through the floors. The monsters are way too powerful, way too overpowering. You gotta grind monotonous. If you get into a lobby that's a hacked lobby, you're gonna get all the unlocks literally handed to you. The dev still hasn't fixed any of those issues, so that's why this one's more of an approach to caution. The gameplay gets a little boring and repetitive, and you're going to just be doing a lot of the same things, a lot of the same maps, just to keep on moving on with the story and chugging away. Now, this one has a cult following. Some people really love this game, some people really hate it. I haven't really seen a lot of people in the middle. You love it, you hate it. I'm on the side where it's just not for me. I don't really like it. Hate it is a hard thing to say. I'm not really in the middle though. I just don't recommend this one. If you're into the After the Fall, then that's good for you. Just approach this one on with caution, and that's why it's on the list. After the Fall, we have Cave Digger 2. And, you know, like I said, this is where the list goes sour, guys. Cave Digger 2 is, well, it's the most boring Cave Digger experience. I actually feel like Cave Digger 1 is better, despite this one being a little lower on the list in terms of scale. But Cave Digger 2 is, you know, the one thing that I did not like about this one is when you jump into multiplayer with somebody else hosting, you're literally going to be starting from scratch, and nothing you have in that with that player carries over to your own player, making multiplayer completely useless unless you max out your save and you just want to just play with friends and help them out, because otherwise you're just wasting your time. And you know, they have some, it's just digging caves, and it's just on a bigger scale than the first, and I just felt like it was just boring. But at least they have a menu. After Cave Digger 2, we got Seeker My Shadow, which is a game I just recently finished with Junior. He loved the game. I think it's just mediocre, dude. Dumpster. There's crashes, you're falling off the edge. The game's not long at all. It's like 2 hours. Approach this one with caution, especially at the retail price that they're asking for. I do not feel like it's anywhere near that. You're gonna have to get this one on a deep duty-fied sale. I just posted a review, so you guys probably already know what I'm talking about on this one, especially if it's still fresh in your minds from watching that review. So I don't really need to break too much of it down about Seeker My Shadow, but you'll see why it's higher on the list. After Seeker My Shadow, it's NFL Pro Era. I haven't played the second one yet. I'm kind of waiting for a sale. I tried to reach out to the devs. They don't want to give me a code, probably because I pooped on the first one. But this one, as a huge NFL diehard fan, I would love for this game to actually work, but it's abandonware at this point. The devs gave up. They put all their resources into NFL Pro Era 2, which is skeptical for me. I don't even know if I want to dive into it. But this one has numerous broken eye tracking problems, performance issues, the glitches, the players on the field, they wonk out, they bug out. There's audio issues. There's a lot of issues with NFL Pro Era. This is broken, duty-fied garbage dumpster diarrhea game. It's still fun to play, but the facts are the facts. It's duty-fied garbage dumpster diarrhea. And if you're gonna get this, it's high on the list of approach with caution. I don't recommend it at all anymore now that Pro Era 2's out, but I really can't recommend Pro Era 2 out either because I haven't even played or delved into it. After NFL Pro Era, we got Towers and Powers, which is a tower defense game, and well, I feel like there's a lot of balancing issues. There's snap turn mandatory, did not like it. There's a lot of things going on with this game. It's really repetitive. The waves are way too long. This one is a definitely approach with caution because it's like the only tower defense on PSVR2, I believe. There might be a few others that I might just not know about and I haven't played myself yet, and I'm not aware of, so forgive me if I'm wrong with that. But with this one, trying to niche down and try to, you know, conquer that market share in that niche of tower defensing, this one is definitely an approach with caution, just because one, it's mandatory snap turning, there's balancing issues, the waves are way too long, there's like 15 levels but they drag out, and there's huge difficulty spikes, so just keep that in mind with Towers and Powers. After Towers and Powers, we got Transformers Beyond Reality. Buggy, complete mess, washed out eyes, like Vaseline all over your eyes, like someone busted on your face. It's disgusting. It's duty-fied dumpster garbage diarrhea. Don't know why it's on PSVR 2 in the state it is. Despite all that, it is a fun, mediocre experience, but it's high on this list because it just does not look good to play in. The gameplay is fine sometimes. There's some borderline things near the boss, near the ending. I won't spoil here. If you really want to know, watch my review. Like I said, all these games I have reviews on my channel, and there's probably more duty-fied dumpster games that are not on this list. They just didn't make the list because I haven't played and reviewed them, and I'm not a fan of talking shit about games I haven't played or reviewed. So that's why this list is personal to me and it's personal to my experiences, but I feel like sharing it with you guys in the community because there's some value at hand. After Transformers Beyond Reality, we have Cave Digger 1, and this one's way high up on the list because it doesn't provide a menu. There's no fucking menu. I believe it's snap turning only. It's dutify dumpster diarrhea, but despite it being dutify dumpster diarrhea, guava juice, slava juice, shit ass chips, shitty crispy chips, I still feel like this one is better than the second one. I feel like Cave Digger 1's better than Cave Digger 2. There's a lot more charm in this one, a lot more humor. There's a lot more Easter eggs. There's a lot more going for it than the second one. But because this one really is limited in scale, it's smaller, it's a smaller paced game, you'll beat it in a few hours. Unlike Cave Digger 2, there's no menu, there's no accessibility features, snap turning mandatory. It is high up on this list to really approach with caution. You'll see this one for like $4.99, $3.99, hell, even $2.99. And if you feel like pushing the trigger, well, that's on you. I had my $2.99 fun out of it. It's just high up on the list of approach with caution. And after Cave Digger 1, we have Gorn. And Gorn is broken as shit, will never be fixed. It's abandonware at this point, shovelware, trashified, assified. There's still crashes that happen. I can literally log in the game, do what I did to make the game crash, and I can make it crash every single time. It still hasn't been fixed. You'll see this one routinely on sale. This is an avoid at all costs. Dutify, unless you like lighting your money on fire, this one is just a complete mess, broken. There's barely any fun to be had here, especially as it's an older VR game. There's way more better games out you can spend your money on, and I don't recommend Gorn at all. And if anything out of this list, the next game on this list, I don't even recommend you to try, even if you get it for $1. I think I paid $5 for this one, or maybe $3 on PS Plus. It's called Super Def Game Show VR. This is duty-fied garbage, dumpster diarrhea, trashified, assified, my boys. Duty-fied chips, shit yes. Duty-fied chips, shit yes. Super Def Game Show shouldn't even exist on the store. This is where Sony should put it in place where games like this don't meet the quota, shouldn't even be allowed on the store. But this game being on the store shows devs, well, fuck it, other people will buy this game and other people will do it and other people will spend their money and enjoy some shit, so let me just give them some shit. And that's exactly what this is. This game is duty-fied dumpster diarrhea. You can beat it in 4 minutes, you can beat it in 5 minutes. Yeah, there's different endings, and the more that you beat it, you get different endings, but it's just not worth the time. It's shit. Alright, there's nothing else I got to say good about that game. That's shit. Duty-fied ass. Now, this video ran on for far too long, but I hope I educated you guys in a little bit. Out of the 50 games I reviewed, these are the top 25 to proceed with caution. These are not the top 25 games ever, or the top 25 that I reviewed. These are the proceed with caution. Just know, get some information. Hope I can educate you guys a little bit before you dive and spend your hard-earned cash on these games. And these are the reasons why I believe that this video provides value. Anyway, guys, this video went long enough. I hope you guys hit that subscribe button, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next stream or video. God bless and peace.
Yeah, I want a Pop-Tart, bitch. I want a Pop-Tart.